It is now the Monday morning, 5:39. I just fueled up. I worked very hard, one after another, from 6:30 till 1:30. So I got a good 7 hours in there, non-stop. Then it got quieter at about 1:30, and I proceeded to park the car. And I fell asleep somewhere between 1:30 and 3. I fell asleep. And then I didn't wake up until 5:20 or thereabouts. And I guess around 3 o'clock, the system cut me out because I didn't respond. I didn't touch the data terminal for an hour and a half, so it kicked me off. But no, it didn't, because it froze. There's a difference. There's kicking you off, saying, driver inactivity, and then there's freezing. So the thing froze and didn't wake me up when there was a call. So now I went and figured, okay, there's only half an hour to go, so I'm tired anyway, and so I was asleep for 4 hours. Then I just fueled it up, and so now I'm gonna go park it, and I won't be back for a whole week. The next time I work will be Monday night, a week from this Monday morning. I'm going to a music festival. So this segment is about to end, and the next segment that you see will be recorded a week later. That would be the Tuesday morning a week from now. And I'm about to park it. It's my first shift back after taking a week off. Now, it was a slow, quiet night. And not really all that much was going on. And what is this? A call? No, I'm not in a position to do that one. I'm being sent to a homeless shelter, and I just had an experience already. I'll just tell you that so far the night was quiet. There was not much going on. The first call was a good trip, and then I ended up sitting for about an hour and a half for the next one. And I ended up doing in the morning maybe one trip an hour, and I went to sleep for a while. And guess it was about an hour ago, just before 4 o'clock, I got a call to Denny's. Denny's, if you don't know, is a 24-hour restaurant. I went there, and this guy ran out of the Denny's and got into the car and says, "Take me away from these people." I say, "Okay, where do you want to go?" He says, "I want to find a hotel." And I said, "Well, how about this hotel?" He said, No, they have no vacancy." And how about that hotel? "Oh, no, they have no vacancy." And we drove up to the, he guided me to the police station So I took him to the police station. I thought I was going to get paid right there. He gave me a $20 bill. So I had a $20 bill. It was $8 on the meter, but I had been so excited to get him out of the car because he was quite strange that I had stopped the meter anyways. And he says, we're going to Esquimalt now. He got out at the police station and he went to the front door and he saw some people sleeping there, and then he decided to come back to the car and go to Esquimalt. Well, on the way to Esquimalt, he says, no, turn here, turn there. And at the Salvation Army, he got out and he looked, and they wouldn't, the door was locked. It's 4 in the morning, there's nobody at the Salvation Army. And then, after Salvation Army, he wanted to go to Esquimalt. So we went into Esquimalt and he was talking about good people and Canadians and Americans and tourists and voting and good people and how we're all good people and how he trusts me and so on and so on and so on and so on. He's fidgety and nervous, and we ended up at a traffic light pulling up next to another cab, and he started freaking out at the driver in the other car, and he was leaning against me and, get me away from here, get me away from here. And the light was red, so I couldn't move. I had to wait for the light to change. When we finally went down into Esquimalt, he says, can we find a hotel near here? I said, there are no hotels near here. How about we go somewhere else? Go to where the hotels are. Anyways, we went to the hotels, and the only one that had a vacancy sign is one that he didn't want to go to. And all the other hotels, they were either locked or closed or had no vacancy or whatever. And then he says, I say, well, what can I do to help you now? And he says, take me to Shelburne Street. I say, okay, which part of Shelburne Street? Like near Hillside Mall? Or he says, oh no, not Hillside Mall. He says, University Heights. My grandmother lives near there. So by this time, I had turned the meter on again, naturally, after the $8.50 that was on there before, but I had erased it. And now it's getting on $50, you know, and I'm holding a 20 that he gave me, and I said, I need a little bit more money to keep going. So he's going to the door at the old folks home, but before he does that, he gives me 100 and I give him his 20 back. So now I'm holding a $100 bill for a fee that's about $54. Anyways, the cleaners don't let him into the old folks home. And then I said, and he was saying that he's been running and his feet are wet, and he's tired of running, and he's been taking stuff to keep himself awake, and he's been drinking a lot of coffee. And it's true, his breath smelled like coffee. Terribly like coffee. So, what to do? I said, you say you've been running. He said, yes, I've been running for 10 days. I say, and you're tired of running? Very tired of running, and my feet are wet. And I said, well, wouldn't you like to be able to stop running and rest? She said, oh, I would love that. Oh, I would love to stop running, and I would love to rest. I say, well, the hotels and motels don't seem to be helping you, are there? And your grandmother, well, she's probably still sleeping at this hour. I said, have you considered a hospital? Maybe they can give you something to make it so you don't have to run anymore. I did kind of glom onto the fact that we're talking mental illness here. The guy was quite, he was quite far gone. He was manic. He was high. Anyways, he says, I want to give you a $20 tip. Anyway, it was $66 on the meter. I had 100. I gave him back 20. So $66 to get him to the hospital, and $8.50 before that. So about $74. I got $80 out of it. Fine. I did my job. I did my good deed for today. Hopefully this man will find himself some peace and quiet and not be running anymore. So this is what I get for my first day back to work. Real crazy. Real crazy. Or maybe I should just not say crazy. I should just say disturbed, mentally ill. I hope they can help him. He seemed to understand when I mentioned hospital, and I assume that he has had a history of this kind of thing. Maybe the hospital is the place to be. Well, between now, it's 5:06 in the morning, and 6 when my shift ends, I really doubt that very much is going to happen. So I hope yours is better than mine. I just fueled up. It is Tuesday morning. The time is now 6:05. My shift is done. I'm gonna go park it. It was steady all night. It was almost $300 grand total. And every time I wanted to take a rest, that's when I got another call. It was tiresome. Right now I'm just tired. And I still have to go to the chiropractors and do some exercise. I think the shifting back to being awake at night is really feel it tonight. I really feel it this morning. Yeah, I did okay tonight, but I'm exhausted. Yeah, it's going to take me a few more days, I think. Anything else to report? No crazies this time. Nobody going off their nut. It was pretty low-key and uneventful. Didn't have any really long trips to stand out. I think the longest trip was about $17. Average of about 11 or 12. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, you can tell I'm tired by the way I sound, right? Yeah. Okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Clearing at the airport at 4:54 a.m. It is now the Thursday morning. And this Wednesday night was really nothing spectacular. Oh shit, yeah. I gotta put this seatbelt on. Because they changed the rules. For 27 years of driving cab, I didn't have to wear a seatbelt because the deal was that taxi drivers did not have to wear seatbelts. Okay. Taxi drivers did not have to wear seatbelts by law, except on a highway. Now, that changed. Because ride sharing is coming to British Columbia, instead of making them conform to our rules, we have to conform to their rules, even though, and get this, ride sharing, as far as we know, is not coming to Victoria. It's only going to the lower mainland, like around Vancouver. So we have to put on seatbelts like everyone else, rather than have that exception. and it's a real pain to have to buckle this thing up all the time, and it's a real pain to have to, every time I got to get out of the car, I have to I have to unbelt, and it's a fucking hassle, especially when you don't need the thing. I mean, the one time that I had a very serious accident was the time that it would have probably killed me had I been wearing the belt, because I got T-boned by a pickup truck, and the post behind the door on the driver's side was shoved into the car by about 2 feet. Now, if that thing was attached to me, chances are the belt would have locked up, and it could have snapped my neck when the thing went right past my head. But yeah, now by law I have to wear, or by the bylaw I have to wear the stupid thing now, or I could get a ticket. That's bullshit. Yeah. Well, so the night went like this. It was somewhat steady before midnight, but before 11. I got my lease on and my fuel on by about 11, and then it got quiet. And it was quiet all morning long, from 11 till 4. And just after 4 o'clock, I got a call. And on the data terminal there, it said, check for cash. Okay. Usually, 14 times out of 15, if it says check for cash, it doesn't mean anything. The people pay and everything's all right. Then after that, there was a message on there saying for me that the 2 days ago tried to pass a fake $50 bill. Okay, I'll be on the lookout for fake $50 bills. What actually did happen is the guy tried to use a debit card, which ended up being declined. So the debit card was declined. Then I got a call while this clown was trying to pay with the declined debit card, and the call brought me to the airport. So who knows? Had I not received that call for the check for cash, I may not have got this airport run either. And look at this, morning traffic is already coming on. I'm not used to having traffic during my watch. Why won't this thing focus? Oh, there it is. I think it's focusing now. Okay, well, I'm going to pull into the car wash and wash the car, and I'll be back tomorrow for the last installment of this week. I'm at the airport, and I just got a call at the airport. Or should I say, I just dropped off at the airport, and I got another call up not too far from the airport, so I gotta go get that one, and it's due in half an hour. The night was busy until about 11 o'clock. I had about 175 on by that time. That was not so bad. That was all right. Then it got quiet. In the time that I between 11 and I guess 4 in the morning, I made another $50, maybe a little more than that. I'm not sure exactly. I'll have to count it. And now I'm going further off into the wilderness to pick someone up at 5 o'clock. The time is now 4:32. And I don't know if I'm going to get any Wi-Fi out here. Chances are they'll be going right back to this airport. 5 o'clock time call. So I'll go and pick them up. I've never had a call up there before. It's some little Indian reservation. Got a few Indian reservations out here on the peninsula. This is the farthest one from town that I'm going to. These are all airport buildings. Anyway, probably nothing important is going to be happening between now and the end of the shift, so I hope yours is better than mine.